Welcome to the Uncontested Investing Show, presented by REI Inc. magazine and sponsored by RCN Capital. Each week, we focus on bringing you candid convos from the best in the biz. Here's your host, Tim Herriage.
Welcome back to Uncontested Investing. I'm Tim Herriage. Thanks for coming back. Today, I have Corey Maxwell. Corey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tim. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here, man. I can't wait to talk about fishing and college football. But First, why don't you just tell the listener a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you. Yes, Corey Maxwell. I am one of the co-founders and managing partners at Birmingham Insurance Group, Big Insurance. We specialize in insurance for investors and property management companies. And we take care of folks all across the country, 50 states. So we're also investors. And so we're in the fight every day, just like everyone else is. And so look forward to learning and growing along with everyone else here today.
Well, Corey, I'm glad you're here. And full disclosure, in December when we met, we entered into an agreement for me to sell REI Choice Insurance to you folks at Big. So you're my partner, you and Jason Henderson as well. So I just like to get that out there. I don't ever want to be misleading to the audience. So I wanted you to come here today, Corey, because you are unique. You and Jason are investors. You and Jason have been involved in hard money. You and Jason have been involved in other businesses. And now we all operate what is basically the largest real estate investor focused insurance agency in the nation. I know there's some other out there, but I'm just going to call us the largest for now. So you bring all these different...
We're the largest non-exclusive
There you go. The largest non-exclusive agency.
Absolutely.
That's good to know. I got to brag about that.
Well, that's bragging rights. Here they go.
So every week I start with the bottom line up front. The bottom line up front, imagine when I was in the Marine Corps and I used to brief generals, they always said you don't bury the lead. You have to lead with the bottom line up front, the most important thing, because if the general has to get up and leave the room, or if there's a mortar attack or whatever, like, you know, you've got to get the most important thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to tell the listener kind of the most important things that you see happening in the real estate market today, in the industry, in the businesses, and then some things that you think they should be doing and anything you think they should stay away from or not be doing. Make sense?
Fantastic. Absolutely.
All right, bottom line up front. Go.
Hot box it is. Well, Tim, I appreciate the opportunity to share some ideas today. In the marketplace, there's a lot going on. Everybody's paying attention to the midterm elections. Everybody's paying attention to inflation. And quite frankly, there are a number of things that I would recommend to focus on right now. First of all, don't follow my path. When it comes to achieving your goals, focus on your own individual true self, okay? Authenticity is key. You can't fake it, but you can fake it till you make it, all right? But be yourself. Go all in. Too many people have too many opportunities. I'm one of them. So instead of getting analysis paralysis, find something that's working and stick with it. Be committed. And when I say be committed, be fully committed. Go all in, all right? Focus your attention, accomplish your goal, then you can move on to the next task or next opportunity. I also made a note to remind myself, as well as everyone else, to find a mentor. Learning it on your own works, but it's one of the reasons why franchises like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and others that are well known make it a whole lot more often than mom and pop shops. Okay, find a mentor, somebody that can show you the loopholes, the opportunities, the shortcuts. Okay, saves you a lot of time, heartache, and energy for sure. But the number one thing, I'll say the two number one things I would focus on right now are tied for first, I should say, is be ready, because the market's about to shift as inflation continues to hover at highs. The mortgage business has slowed down at a pace faster than any other time in the last 8 or so years. foreclosures are about to start back over again, and people are going to lose their businesses. So be ready, have your money in order, go get them.
Man, that's great. And there's a lot to unpack there. So let's kind of dive into that.
Okay.
I'll just throw the hard part out there first. You said, don't be like me. Mm-hmm. What are we referencing there?
Okay, so everybody has wins and losses.
Absolutely.
If you are going to be successful, you have to be willing to try, but more importantly, to fail. Because failure is where the best lessons come from. If you're paying attention, if you are willing to learn from the process, right, Tim? And so what I recommend is don't follow my path, but more importantly, as I mentioned as well, find a mentor, somebody who has already been down this road, who's familiar with the bumps and the turns, okay, and who can tell you to brake, accelerate, hang a left, hang a right, okay? Because you and I both have been in the ditch at some point in our lives, right? The last thing we want to do is get back in that ditch, because at the very best scenario, we're going to have to winch ourselves out. At the worst, we're going to smack a tree and be game over.
Absolutely. And I find that very interesting. You led with that, because I just love it. So many people that are successful attempt to pretend as if they were never unsuccessful, right? And they forget that the challenges that we all make it through, right? It's not the challenges we encounter. It's the challenges we make it through. It's those challenges that make us good business people, good parents, good spouses.
Men of character.
It was interesting. You said, fail, but pay attention. Like, that's a powerful combination of words to me, because often we fail, but rarely do we pay attention to why we failed, right?
That's exactly right.
So, Corey, talk a little bit about, I guess I always joke around, this is that talk about what we're going to talk about thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's just go high level. We'll dig into it later. Some of
Okay.
the things you see going on in the marketplace, it can be on the investing side, the insurance side, the lending side, the inflation, society, whatever. Take me there.
We don't have enough time for all of it, so we'll talk about a few things. Some things that have really stuck out in my mind as far as items of note. Okay, one of the things that really has aggravated me, but it's a reality in any business, is you have a lot of fools out there trying to conduct business as if they are a professional, as if they are worthy of your time, energy, and effort, your investment, your trust, okay? So be wise, ask questions. If they don't know the answers, that's okay. It doesn't mean they're not worth investing in, but it's how they answer the unanswered questions, okay? I don't know, let me get back to you.
Right.
So choose wisely the people you associate yourself with in this marketplace. You never know who's new but up and coming. You never really know, just because they've been around doesn't mean that they're worth sticking around or hanging around, right? And so the people in this business, and in any business, okay?
Yeah.
My business partner, Jason, and I made a commitment to one another that we're only going to do business with people we know, like, and trust, period. Okay? So if we find somebody that doesn't meet those three simple criteria, we move on.
It's interesting. The way I met you folks was I called someone that I know, like, and trust.
And he said, move on. These guys are not.
And I said, I own this, and we were doing okay, but it wasn't going the way I wanted it. And I told Mark, the CEO of Arcana, I said, Mark, I said, I want to sell it, but I want to stay involved in it. And for me to do that, I gotta be able to trust the people. Like I don't have time to date and go through an engagement and all this. I'm really just wanting to get this thing behind me, because I was right as I was joining RCN, as you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, not only did he connect me to you guys, you and Jason, y'all were the only ones he connected me with, and he wanted me to do business with you guys, and just like you just said, to know, like, and trust someone, and to get a referral from them, when you have that trust and that like, and like, it's just so easy in this. I won't say it's so easy, but this industry gets a lot easier.
I was going to say, anything that we can do to remove anxiety in this life, all right, minimize it at least. But there's no better recommendation than that from a trusted friend.
Right. And
the same was on our side, okay? I mean, I called Mark to share with him that we made a move and expanded our business, and I went from a part-time focus in this business, full-time on it, of course, but a part-time involvement in the business to full-time. Great. Now I got an opportunity to share with you. Okay? And so when he told me about it, it just clicked. And the thing that stood out to me the most, of course, it's a great opportunity for all of us, but more importantly, I appreciate when somebody stands up for another and vouches for them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been, we're going to take a break in a second, but it's been nice just watching how little changes in the business, like answering the phone, can make people happier with you, right?
It's amazing, right?
So we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about failing, paying attention, the up and coming folks, choosing wisely, being wise, fools, and doing business with people you know and like. And we'll probably talk a little bit about insurance and costs and things like that too.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for fast funding for your next fix and flip? What about leverage for your next long-term rental or vacation rental? Need capital for a new construction project? Look no further. RCN Capital has you covered. As the leading nationwide lender for real estate investors, RCN Capital offers short-term and long-term financing solutions for your next investment property. RCN Capital takes a common-sense approach to your loan request, offering high leverages and low rates backed by superior customer service. Whether you're investing in single-family properties or multifamily properties across the U.S., RCN Capital has funding options for you with no hoops to jump through and quick closings in as little as 2 weeks. Ready to get a quote for your next investment property? Visit rcncapital.com/podcast to apply today. There is no fee to apply. Again, that's rcncapital.com/podcast to apply today.
Welcome back to the Uncontested Investing Show. I'm Tim Herriage. I'm here with Corey Maxwell. Corey, let's talk about your investing business for a minute.
Okay.
Flipper, wholesaler, landlord, owner finance notes.
Currently, we are flipping homes and wholesaling homes.
Right.
Exclusively.
And that's, and I want to hear everything you've done. It doesn't have to be right now. So, is that all in Birmingham? Now, so the name of the insurance company is Birmingham Insurance Group.
Right, correct. And so
you only do insurance in Birmingham.
Great question. And in fact, that gives me an opportunity for a shameless plug. We are in the process of enhancing and improving our public persona so that people don't view us as local only, because in fact, we're a national firm. So we're rebranding. It still has the same business underneath, but we're rebranding to Big Insurance, and go big for your home.
There you go.
We started to go big or go home, but anyway.
Yeah, we don't want to tell customers to go home, right?
No, we want to
in
stay.
general,
Hang around.
Businesses should not say McDonald's, get a Big Mac and go home, right?
That's right.
All right, so
hang around, get a Frosty.
I was just helping point that out for you. So we're flipping houses, we're wholesaling, and now is that in the Birmingham area, or is that kind of the Midwest, Southeast? Where are we doing?
So we happen to have a lot of exposure of different opportunities in different areas of the country, okay? Exposure meaning awareness.
Yeah.
We have clients in 33, 34 states now, somewhere around 1,000 plus or minus clients. We get a lot of communication with active investors as well as some passive investors. We are also, by the way, the selected and endorsed insurance provider for 2 national coach and mentor platforms. And, shameless self-plug, William Tingle does Sub2 Max. And so we're still having conversations with the other. So, but we've been blessed with exposure to these different markets. Oddly enough, the one that we invest in heavily currently is in our backyard in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
So Huntsville is one of the markets. It's one of the fastest growing markets in the country. It's one of the best places to live in the country. Tremendous infrastructure investment, et cetera. But what they don't have is enough places to live, because you have SpaceX coming in, you have FBI HQ2, you have a Facebook service center coming in. I mean, just incredible influx of talented, well-paid individuals. And guess what they need? A place to live.
I'm going to stop you there. So I'm a big proponent of talking about the three basic necessities in life, right? Food, water, and shelter.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Farmers, you talk about something the institutions own now, right? I mean, that the institutions make our food, and then water. I don't know how you make money selling water, but I sure don't want to try. So I'm with you, right? Like let's specialize in housing, right?
Yes.
People got to have a place to live, and our country has shown over 200 and something years that we're not going to let people go homeless.
No.
Right? We're going to pay for where they live or find them a place to live.
Yeah.
Relevant to both of your businesses, you just made it relevant, replacement cost.
Absolutely.
So it's hard to build houses in Birmingham and Huntsville, hard to find labor, hard to find materials. It's hard to build houses in every market across the nation. And I continue to tell people I talk to, both the big or old REI Choice customers and even the people that I loan money to, they've got to pay attention to their replacement costs, because they're going to make themselves, because you can't pick the value they insure their house for.
Well,
right.
Well,
so can you talk a little bit about replacement cost and what you see nationwide and kind of how that's impacting not only investment operations, but insurance?
Absolutely can. Happy to. And, let me say this. Could I pick it for them? Yes. Will I pick it for them? No. And there are a lot of reasons, liability and otherwise, but at the end of the day, replacement cost is an insurance term. Okay? Replacement value is more of a market term. So what we focus on are the facts instead of the feelings.
Okay.
Okay? In different marketplaces, the very best idea comes from the boots on the ground, the contractors who are building in specific areas, and they're going to be the experts on how much would it cost me, Joe Contractor, how much would it cost me to build this house back like it is in today's market?
Right.
He's going to say $400 a foot or $100 a square foot or whatever, okay? Since we don't have ready access to a contractor in every market, we are fortunate because of our focus in the real estate market, and in particular in the investment real estate marketplace, as investors, as insurance professionals, to have access. We just received a nice spreadsheet from one of our national carriers that gave us the breakdown to certain zip codes, other metro areas, and so forth, that are current cost per square foot rebuild guidelines, okay? Because it's a moving target, you can't hold someone to be 100% accurate all the time, and that's why the programs that we represent, and in particular Arcana Insurance, which we both are very familiar with, provides a 20% wiggle room factor in that, but also a practical claim process.
Right.
All right. So I'm not going to speak about their claims other than to say that we do our job with our clients on the front end. The clients are going to be protected on the back end. Okay. Yeah. So regardless of what the market may do, we're going to minimize the impact of the market on our clients. And, I wear two hats. This is what I tell people, man. As an insurance guy, I'm in my 25th year in this business. I don't know it all, not even close. Learn something new every day. Okay. But what I have learned is how to play the game better. All right, this game of life, this game of insurance, this game of investments and real estate and so on. But I wear two hats, okay? So literally when I'm talking to clients on the phone, we're a virtual agency, so we're doing business all over the place. I physically take off my hat, and I tell them I wear two hats. I wear my buddy hat and I wear my insurance hat, okay? I'm gonna give you fact-based, contract-based information on questions that you may have for me with my insurance hat on, okay? But as a practical person and one who likes to develop strong relationships with people, I'll take that hat off and put my buddy hat on and say, hey, now what that means to you and me over here on the street is this, and here's how it affects you, and here's how you can address it, and more importantly, here's how we're going to work together to take care of any concerns, any problems, anything that comes up that's within our control.
And I think that answer is one of those answers that if you're listening, you should probably rewind and listen to again, because it's I've been doing this for 20 something years now, buying houses. I don't have an insurance license, never did. Didn't even know that there was a 20% wiggle room in the replacement cost, because I don't read policies, just like all the customers. And I've always counted on someone that would be willing to take the buddy hat off and tell me if I was screwing up or not. So it's just interesting you say that. And I'll just never forget, when we started REI Choice, the first thing that happened was I went and moved all my properties over. And because if I was going to tell people to use it, I was going to put my properties there first.
Absolutely, you need to.
And I went through any problems or anything that was confusing and made sure it was fixed before we put it out. So kind of a little shameless plug too, but I like the system. I do want to keep talking about some of these things when we come back, but last kind of segue on this, I was in Denver last week. And they're building houses in Denver for $160 a foot. It's just amazing to me that you can now build a house cheaper in Denver than you can in Dallas.
Dallas in some areas is $350 a foot. It's nuts.
It was, we were at a mastermind, and we had it was one of the most intriguing conversations around the bar, right? Because this guy, we go to his house, and it's this nice, multi-million-dollar home in the mountains, and we're all guessing, $250 to $300 a foot to build cost. When he says 160, I mean, my jaw dropped down through the floor and out the building, because it was just like, how? Yeah, and labor's cheaper up there. Materials are more constant. So it's a moving target. Data, service providers, and experts is the way to go. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, do the Money Minute, and then get into some rapid fire questions for Corey and the team at Biggs. So stick around. We'll be right back.
REI Inc. is a monthly business publication for real estate investors, covering all types of real estate investments and strategies. It is the most comprehensive real estate investment publication on the market. All of the articles are written by the top leaders in the industry, so investors are assured of always getting the best information possible. Each month, REI Inc. also profiles the top companies in the industry and provides insights and data into key regional markets. Along with their sister platforms, the REI Referral Network and Highest Invest, real estate investors have exclusive access to off-market investment opportunities and national acquisition and disposition initiatives. To learn more, visit www.rei-inc.com, where you can also access the REI Referral Network. Also, be sure and visit www.highest-and-vest.com to view the latest exclusive off-market assets with near immediate acceptance decisions and closing strategies. You can also email marketing at rei-referralnetwork.com to request more information.
Welcome back to the Uncontested Investing Show. I'm Tim Herriage. I'm here with Corey Maxwell. Corey, we're now to the Money Minute. This is my
Money Minute
favorite part of the show.
Okay.
Imagine there's an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, a young version of yourself. They're out there listening to this, and you're about to give them 60 seconds of advice. But here's the catch. This is the only 60 seconds of advice they get in the next 30 days.
Okay.
So this is it. All right. It's got to be your best stuff. It's got to be the go juice. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here goes the Money Minute. Ready? Go.
Tim, Money Minute, hot seat. Okay. 30 days. Any investor I'm speaking to, I have 3 main points to hammer home. Number 1, raise capital. Have access to money. Doesn't matter necessarily where it comes from, as long as it's legal. Have access to capital, okay? You might have a piggy bank, you might have a line of credit, you might have a friend, a family member, a banker that's willing to loan you the money, okay? Because with that money, you can leverage and become profitable. Number 2, get skinny, all right? Make sure your expenses are in line, in check, minimize them, tighten that belt, get skinny, because that will enhance your profitability without spending any additional money. The third thing is have constant, replicatable distribution processes that are effective in reaching your market, because if you can't reach the market, they can't reach their wallet.
Man, that was good stuff. So if you can't reach them, they can't reach the wallet. It's time for rapid fire. Well, I'm going to go through some things, and brevity is key because we're going to run out of time. Earlier, you said fools. You were talking about fools in the market. Mm-hmm. How does one avoid being one of the fools?
Well, it goes back to the very things I said. Number one, don't follow my path. Number two, get serious right now.
Yep.
Get committed right now. Find a mentor, okay, and follow their path.
Yep. Be wise. How does one, in your mind, how does one be wise?
Be willing to make mistakes, but learn from those mistakes. Pay attention, because knowledge is nothing without experience. Then it can become wisdom. Wisdom can be applied and perpetuated through generations, bro.
What are you paying attention to in today's market?
Cost of money, availability of money, creating inventory, and maintaining consistent, efficient distribution channels.
When you look at your 1,000 plus clients in 33 or more states, is there something that stands out about them to you? I mean, a specific trait or something a lot of them have in common?
Yeah. It's the need for somebody like us.
Right.
There are a lot of makeshift insurance programs out there, and no one has expertise. No one has the solutions to their problems that we have. And quite frankly, nobody takes care of their folks like we do. And it's just something that we determined ahead of time, take pride in, stick to, and that's our MO.
Do you think that a small balance investor, someone that has one or two houses, needs more or less customer service than, say, someone with 100 houses?
Neither. I would consider them to need the same amount of customer service. It's just that the service increments that are provided may be smaller because there are fewer transactions and fewer interactions. It's the same level of customer service and attention, because $1 million mistake can be made whether you have one property or 1,000 properties.
Absolutely. When you look at the larger investors, the ones that have 100 or so houses with you, is there anything that stands out about their operations or their portfolio mix that you think is like a good, something anecdotal or something you could share with the audience?
Absolutely. I would say that there are two things. Number one is they are 100% certain what their target property is. Number two, they work more on their business than in their business. So they have people who are on their team that handle certain aspects of the business that take away from the owner or lead dog's ability to grow, develop new customers, new properties, new opportunities. Somebody's got to be the visionary, because not everybody can stand around and watch.
Right. So that's interesting. The first thing you said it very emphatically. They're 100% convinced on what their target property is.
Clear.
And we see that at RCN, like the investors that we're financing, 4 or 5 loans a month for. I mean, they're the ones, like, every house is the same. They're not like, it's not $1 million flip and then a $50,000 rental. It's like all $50,000 rentals. And
no, the most effective investors right now that I'm seeing in the marketplace, regardless of whether they're small or institutional, they have a buy box.
Yeah, well defined.
I want this number of bed and baths. I'm willing to go this age bracket. I'm willing to go this size of house. I don't want anything near a major roadway. I don't want anything near a power line. It's a list. And so here's what happens there. Because we're doing investor insurance, we're investing ourselves, we're wholesaling, so we're exposed to all this. Let me tell you something. Efficiency becomes the norm rather than the exception.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, because efficiency is that thing that makes your business enjoyable again, right? Efficiency is that thing that makes it feel like you don't have to work twice for the same dollar.
That's right.
And there was someone that I read a quote or heard a quote the other day. It's like, never work twice for the same dollar. I think it was Gary Keller or someone. But it's just like, right? Because a lot of times, even at the high levels of business ownership, you find yourself doing the same task over and over, or even repetitive tasks for other people, and it's about as frustrating as it gets.
And I would further that to say, don't chase the same dollar past about 2 city blocks. Because if you've chased it that far, it's probably already gotten away.
And it's probably not worth $1.
No, sir.
So we're about to wrap up. Corey, I like to give everybody just a last kind of, we'll talk about your company in a minute, but do you have any parting thoughts for the audience or parting shots for me?
You know, I would just say continue to be curious, ask questions, seek knowledge, develop your own expertise, develop your own skill set, continue to be authentic, because there's nobody like you, and God did it that way for a reason. So celebrate that. Don't be scared to be unique. Having a mentor does not mean that you have a king who's dominating and telling you what to do every day. They're helping you stay between the lines, stay on the virtual path of success, all right? And as long as you can continue to improve, 1% every day, we get pretty good after 365 days in a year, right?
I'd take 1% a day, every day of
Every
their
day.
life. So Corey, if somebody's listening, they'd like to do business with you or get in touch with you, how do they reach you?
So we welcome any and all opportunities to speak with and share our story, to learn how your story goes, and to hear how we can help you. You can reach us online at www.bhaminsgroup.com. You can call us 205-682-8856. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook. Our email is info@bhaminsgroup.com. Heck, call me on my cell phone. We don't hide. We're here to help you. 205-790-2420. You know, come see us, man. We're ready. We're excited. We're having fun. And if you don't like to have fun, though, don't call.
Well, Corey, I hope that we do a good enough job on this show to make it where you regret giving out your cell phone number.
Absolutely. I would love to have to change that thing after 75 years.
Well, we're out of time. We're going to wrap up this week of Uncontested Investing. Thank you all for coming back and listening to us. We hope to see you next week. But just remember, your network is your net worth, and today you've been growing both. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Uncontested Investing Show. Questions about today's episode or the podcast? Email podcast@rcncapital.com and make sure to follow RCN Capital on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. See you all next time. The preceding program is furnished by RCN Capital LLC. The information provided is for general education purposes only and does not constitute any legal, financial, investment, or other professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed of any speaker are the speaker's own opinion and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of RCN Capital LLC. No information contained in this episode should be construed as financial, investment, or legal advice from RCN or any individual, author, host, or guest. You should always consult a financial advisor before investing.